Hello, dear friends, dear colleagues. Thank you for planning to spend about 30 minutes of your precious time with me today as we take on the lesson unit cost of university education. Talking about cost means we're going to be talking about money. Talking about money. Oh, this is Naira. Now, our great currency. Since we have participants from all over Africa, all over the world, we'll be using this universal currency. That's the dollar. Don't mind it. I just have only one, just $1, $1. At the end of this lesson, we'll be distributing money to all of you. Hey, if you believe that, you can believe anything. But what we want to do is to enjoy this lesson on unit cost of university education. So let's go for it. Oh, yes, let's go for it. Computation of unit cost of university education and its use for academic planning. Yes, I'm Peter Okebukola. Today is February 15, 2022. What did we do in the last lesson? Let's scratch out. We defined indicators in education. We defined these indicators. We computed them. We stated their uses for educational planning. In this lesson, what shall we be doing? We shall define unit cost and identify elements for computing unit cost. And then we calculate unit cost for university education. And the last thing, we apply unit cost in academic planning. There's a lesson, textbook for this lesson towards innovative models for funding higher education in Africa, edited by somebody. I think I know this man. It's a UNESCO book, AAU book, Kames. And there's one other that's going to be a supplementary reading material. That's this monograph published by NUC in 2003, Unit Cost of University Education in Nigeria. It's actually a landmark monograph. You'll be getting these two for free. I said we'll be distributing money. We're not distributing money. We're going to be distributing books to you for free. E-books you're going to be getting. Unit cost, I think it's familiar territory. Unit cost of your laptop, of your bus, unit cost of the wife. You're going to pay. So they are doubling, they are prostrating. They are still going to pay unit cost of wife, unit cost. Everything get unit cost. Yes. But unit cost, I tell you, is as easy as ABC. Because all you need to do is to add up all the costs involved in training the student for a particular year. For training and then divide by total number of students. So you get that unit. That's why it's unit cost. So let's assume that total cost is 8 billion. And the total number of students, 4,805. So it's simple arithmetic. That's why I say it's simple as ABC. The unit cost is this, divided by enrollment, and that gives us 1.664 million naira. Oh, you wonder it's heavy. So we have to ensure that only the costs that are properly allocated to the year in question are included in the summation. So if you think it's heavy, look at this. The tuition undergraduate for some federal universities, Nigerian Maritime, you can see some of them here. You can see 00 here, meaning that these federal universities do not charge a kobo. And that has implication, which you're going to see in a minute. State universities, Edo University, 500,000, First Technical, 400, and you can see the rest like this on the screen. These are state universities. Now the private universities, now University of Nigeria, 2.4 million, Base 2.25, Skyline, and the rest that you can see. Now, back to an original question. What is unit cost? Now, unit cost is the total money expenditure on one student that you produce 1 unit of your laptop, of your bus, of your I don't want to talk about bad price of unit cost of the woman or man, whatever it is. So unit cost of university education, that's the one particular with, is the total expenditure incurred to train one student in a given year. And there are different types of costs. There are fixed costs and variable costs. So what are fixed costs? Fixed costs are costs that are fixed. Variable costs are costs that are variable. Have I said anything? Absolutely nothing. But yes, I've said something, because fixed costs are those that remain constant for a period of time, irrespective the level at. So variable costs are the ones that change directly and proportionally to it. And you can see when incurred, you can see the rest in this table. Now let's come down to earth, the university level. If you walked into a university, they are not going to tell you all those big grammar about fixed costs, all of that. They are going to tell you about these three expenditure heads: the capital, the personnel, and the overhead. The three make up the teaching costs. So this personnel and overhead make up the recurrent expenditure. And so recurrent expenditure includes personnel and overhead and all of that. So that is what you're going to be looking for as we progress. Now there's a rule of thumb, because we're going to be talking, what is the total number of students? We actually mean like full-time equivalent. But you see, computing full-time equivalent is also a breeze, it's easy, which we'll be learning, I think, 2 or more lessons down the road here. But rule of thumb is that the full-time student will take as 1. One full-time student is 1. Part-time student, 0.5. Postgraduate, if it's arts, 1.5. Science, postgraduate is 2. All right. So let's see how we calculate unit costs. Calculate unit cost. Now, there's what you can call an almighty formula, but hey, it's as simple as addition and division. I'm just adding all the expenses and dividing by the total number of students. Oh, I can see you are scared seeing this screen. UC, unit cost, is equal to, like I said, it's addition, and then you are dividing. So what is TRC? Teachers Registration Council? No, it is total recurrent cost. UC, unit cost, this one. Total recurrent cost, you add up to total capital cost, you add student living expenses, and divide by total student enrollment. Finish. And you get your unit cost. We're talking about teaching costs, we're talking about capital and recurrent. What are those things that go into them? All capital expenses, equipment for that year, staff salaries for that year, lab, so workshop consumables, travels in connection with academic activities, accreditation expenses, vehicle maintenance, security, water, staff meetings, cost of electricity, including purchase of diesel. This is quite expensive. Internet service, campus cleaning, and the rest. So these are teaching costs that you must list and compute. What about student living expenses? How do I know? I'm not a student, and I don't know what the living expenses are like now. So what we have to do is to do a questionnaire survey. Do a questionnaire survey of the student. Just randomly select them in the faculty or university and ask them what do you spend money on. But you have to guide them. Money spent on accommodation, you have to give that to us. Feeding, transportation, average academic support expenses per semester, photocopying, library, associations expenses, medical, dresses. They spend money here. Dresses and other personal essentials. You know what I mean? Personal essentials. The project expenses and the rest. So you get the data from here, and then we came to the conclusion in NUC in 2001, when God gave me the opportunity to be the executive secretary of that commission. That look, and we were the first to blaze the trail about unit cost. And we said, look, actual unit cost is what we have just calculated, but there should be an ideal expected unit cost. So what's actual unit cost? The actual one is what you observed. Without regard for deficiency, you just go in there and take the situation on ground, regardless of accreditation status. So this is inclusive of programs without full accreditation. It includes offices without light. It includes internet service that you don't get in the university. It includes toilets that are not good enough and all such things. So you are measuring taking data from the university as is. That's the actual unit cost. So what about the ideal? The ideal is where we should, that's the expected unit cost when all the programs and the institution have full accreditation. When light is 24 hours, internet 24 hours, security is there, everything is clean, everything is wonderful. That is the cost. So why is this important? It's important because that differential gives us a hint of the magnitude of funds that is needed in the system to run it at optimal full accreditation mode. You see, as I will go along about this. So how do you compute actual and expected? I just said it. You use data on actual teaching costs incurred by the university expected. You compute, you project university expenses on teaching if all the programs and students were to earn full accreditation. There are a couple of factors affecting unit costs. One is the level in the university of the program. 100 level students will incur less than 200, 300, 400. Postgraduate will incur more. Then the proportion of undergraduate relative to postgraduate enrollment, that's another factor. If you have a university with large undergraduate enrollment and scant little postgraduate enrollment, it won't cost as much to run as when you have large postgraduate. The type of university, conventional university, open and distance learning, like the university that I'm associated with, National Open University of Nigeria, the best open university in the whole of Africa. Yes, come and contest that if you can. We'll give you data that we are the best. Or the hybrid. The nature of courses offered. Science programs are more expensive, so unit cost will actually have to go up. Non-science courses like the arts, lower than this. Location of the university in the rural area. Where you buy yam for 5 pieces for about 1,000 naira. Come to Lagos, they will charge you 1 million naira there. And so the cost of living is higher in the urban than in the rural. Then the age of the university. The older university will have to spend more on maintenance. The younger universities with nice buildings, will spend less. So these are factors affecting unit cost. Knock, knock, knock. Well, come into the university bursary where we get to get many of these data. So what's the methodology? How do you calculate unit cost for the whole of the university? Step one, you go to the bursary. You say, my friend, please give me all the data for teaching cost. And it's there for the previous year. You can also get the same from the external auditor's report of the university. Just go to the back of the report of the university. Go to the back where you have external auditors. Then you find the cost for capital, for recurrent salaries. Everything will be there. Next, you do a survey, a random sample of students. Get them a questionnaire and online questionnaire, preferably, and ask them about student-related expenses for the year to get cost of student living expenses. So you add these two together and divide. It's as easy as that, and you get unit cost. Oh, this is quite easy. For the faculty, it's the same. But you now narrow your teaching costs data, your student living expenses data to the students in your faculty. Then you do the same and get unit cost for the faculty. Let's take a practical example. Let's take Ahmadu Bello University, one of our leading universities in Nigeria. So for 2019 data supplied, I will go to it in a minute. You'll find that we have 50,773 students, undergraduates. You see, if this were partitioned into full-time and part-time, we'll be able to apply down my rule of thumb to say full-time will take 111 each, part-time will be 0.5 of that, and so on. And also for postgrad, so we're going to take this value. Let's take the funding, total cost of running the university in 2019. Personnel, you can see, capital, recurrent, and it's this. So how do we compute this is a practical example, compute the unit cost for Ahmadu Bello University? Simple. This over this is the number of students over the total cost expenses. That gives us 407,592 naira. So let me take you back in time to 2001, 2002, when we did this study on unit cost. We added student living expenses, which you hardly find. But like I said, we are unique and we're making it, quite a citable example. So you can have unit cost without student living expenses. Now that cost will be for general public and international comparisons. But when you now add student living expenses to it, this is helpful for parents. I'm sending my son to federal university. Or they say the thing tuition is zero. Oh, but my dad, my mom, yeah, I have to stay in some accommodation. I have to feed. I have to do this. I have to go medical. I have to put medical expenses. I have to wear some nice dresses. I'm a university person now, for instance. I'm not a secondary school person. So all of that will have to come in. And then scholarship awarding organizations. If the local government is awarding scholarships and all of that, then they have to know what the student living expenses are like, and then for current and potential students. So let's look at our data for 2002. We did student enrollment. We say FTE because we did what we said we do, that rule of thumb. So agriculture, these are the number of students, the student living expenses, this for the year. Of course, these are average figures, and then the total, and then you have cost per student per discipline. So you have these values there. And the source of force, as you can see here, unit cost for the monograph, I am going to give to all of you. 2001, we also had the observed and the expected. Expected is when this university is running like a real university. Here, sometimes we get it as a glorified secondary school. So this is the actual, and then administration for 175, you can see this 240. So 185, you can see the difference. In 2012, I did a study which came up with this. Administration, the actual is 525, expected 719. If you let's go back, you find that about 10 years, a decade before that time, it was 175, and then now it's this. You can see the heavyweights here: environmental sciences 1 million, medicine, pharmacy, veterinary medicine. The same. You get this from this UNESCO AAU book towards innovative models for funding higher education in Africa. So we are going to enjoy ourselves in this course. We're going to have we're going to develop this. We're going to publish it by Vic Bay Module 3 class of 2022. That's the best class in the world for this kind of training. So we're going to have each university, Abia State University, we're going to get the observed unit costs for all the universities. Let me now show you how I think we can prove. We are going to be deriving data from this wonderful document. It's 1,007 pages long or thick. I'm going to seek permission from Professor Biodun Saliu, who is the architect of all these things, to share this document with you, authored by our Babami Rashid, great man indeed. So you will find somewhere here the table of contents. You're going to get this, and we may use this for the Saudi practicals. So we have reports from universities. Let's take Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University. So what you do when you get this thing, when you give an assignment, because it's hyperlinked to everything here. So let's take Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Bauchi. So you click on this, it takes you there, and it brings you to the data on enrollment. So this is undergraduate enrollment. So you take this value 17927. That's this one, and then this total revenue cost, this money here, that value of enrollment, you divide it by this, and then you get the data to enter into that table. And then you can do the same for the rest. Just click on the university and go all the way to the to tables 1 and 7, and you get all the data that we require there. Yeah, so Abia State University, let's say Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University is here. So you just put what you divided, just put it here. So it goes on like that. And we're going to move on again to publish the unit cost for the Nigerian university system. This excites me a little bit, maybe a lot. So we are going to get data from you for your university. If you have administration faculty, you take the total expenses for administration faculty. You take the expenses, number of students, and you just divide. For 2021, that's for last year. So go to the bursary, ask them, how much did we spend in arts, the faculty of arts, faculty of arts, how much did we spend? Agriculture, if you have, education, engineering, environmental sciences, law, social sciences, and the rest. I'm going to give you a list of the 19, is it 17 or 19 disciplines that we now have in the Nigerian university system. Yeah, so we're going to have all of this there. So how do we apply this unique cost for academic planning? First one that I think is that it will enable you, when you know the size of unit cost, as an academic planner, to be able to assess and prescribe various policy alternatives to improve the quality of university education. Let me tell you a little story. Now, the vice chancellors, because well, God gave me the opportunity to be in office as a secretary, we take responsibility for, in quotes now, sending funds to the universities to pay salaries, direct teaching and laboratory costs we give to them, capital grants we give to them. So the VCs, came, I think, early in 2002 and said, look, Mr. Executive Secretary, let's go and talk to the president. I mean, this is not sustainable, not paying fees. So I took the vice chancellors to President Obasanjo and I said, Baba, look, even if it's a token, a little, let them start paying. And Baba Obasanjo was very clear. He said no, and he said no. So long as sitting there as president, then they are not going to charge a kobo for as tuition. I said, but it doesn't work out. I said, what doesn't work out? I said, look, this is the unit cost for training the student in a university. Let's say Ahmadu Bello University that we looked at. In education, is this amount. In agriculture, this amount. In engineering, is this amount. So by the time you have like 3,000, 4,200 students, you can get the total amount of money that it requires. But if the students are not paying, then somebody has to pay. So he said, okay, how much do we want? And we told him. And it's on record that he increased salaries of staff. He gave us direct teaching and laboratory course grant. He gave us teaching and research and equipment grant. So this unit costing helped us tremendously to squeeze money out of government. I can also tell you a little experience in Osun State University. Professor Shola Akinade, my VC, I mean, if it's in class, will know that we went to Governor Ilola, the visitor, the governor of Osun State. I said, look, governor, this university that we're trying to set up, these are the unit costs for each of the programs that NUC has approved that we should run. So somebody has to pay us. Medicine, I think it was about 700-something thousand naira. So I said, you have to pay us 700-something thousand naira if you want a quality university. He said there's no way he can give us 700-something thousand naira. I said, okay, so these parents have to pay. So when somebody asks me about, funding university education, the formula is difficult. It's not. My dear colleagues, my dear friends, it's just not difficult. Just know the unit cost. If it is a university of education and the unit cost is 500,000 naira, then somebody has to give me 500,000 naira. If you as governor, you're saying that tuition is zero, then you have to give me that 400,000 naira, 500,000 naira. So it's as simple as that. Somebody has to pay that cost. Well, big grammar. So another application is that is operational analysis, of operational analysis of the institution. It helps is a quick way to check if the student is producing quality students efficiently. And then, hey, this class of 2022, you'll be computing and publishing unit costs for faculties, for university, and the entire system. And you will be people will remember you for life. And then, if you have the knowledge and skills in these unit cost calculations, then it will qualify you for national and international consultancies that demand such knowledge and skills. What have we learned in this lesson? We have defined unit cost. We have identified the elements for computing it. We've calculated unit cost for university education, and we have applied unit cost in academic planning. That brings us to the end of this lesson. And thank you for spending. I thought it would be like 30 minutes, but much less than 30 minutes. But I think it's time well spent. Like I said, we are not giving you the money, but we are giving you the books. You are going to get 3. You're going to get the textbook, which is the UNESCO AAU book. You are going to get the monograph on unit cost, and then you're going to get the 2020 state of university education in Nigeria. From me, Peter Okebukola, it is bye for now.